Welcome everyone to the Wake Up Call channel. This is an important video so you can see how this entire thing is staged. The thing that came out of this event that's just as important as the so-called attempt on Donald Trump's life is the photographs that have come out of this event, because the photographs induce the psychosis that you see going on around you. Now, we've all heard people out there talk about how the media is the enemy of the people, but the same people who say that the media is the enemy of the people believe the things that they're shown on the news, because their perception of the news and everything we've been told about the news, despite the talking heads and the opinions that they give, is that they give us the news. They inform us on events that occur. What people don't realize is the media is the enemy of the people because they manufacture the events that occur to form a perception in your mind of what is real and what is not. Now, if we want to talk about actual science and understanding the mind works and goes in and out of different waves, brain waves they're called, right? When you're watching television or you're watching media on your phone, your brain goes from a gamma down to a beta, and then it could go in and out of an alpha and delta state. In an alpha and delta state, you are physically and mentally relaxed. You are watching. You are technically awake, but you're not awake on a conscious level. You're being programmed. When you're watching these things on the television, you're not in a conscious state of mind. You're going in and out between an alpha and a delta. Within 30 seconds of putting on the television or watching media, you go down into an alpha from a beta. From there, the longer you're watching this garbage that they're feeding to you, you go into a delta state. A delta or an alpha state is a form of hypnosis. Now, you've seen people going through hypnosis, trying to, beat addictions or saying, oh, you're getting very sleepy. We've all seen them show us these types of things before, right? We've seen it in movies. We understand hypnotism. Now, most people out there don't believe that hypnotism is actually real. But what they don't want you to realize is that the television and media is a form of hypnosis. So when you go into an alpha state, you're in a meditation, you're in a deep relaxation, and you're capable of being programmed. The delta waves are the slowest recorded brain waves in all human beings. They're mostly found in infants and young children. And for adults, you could be put into a delta wave for watching media for a long period of time because of the brain waves you're exposed to. The definition of hypnosis is the induction of a state of consciousness in which a person apparently loses the power of voluntary action and is highly responsive to suggestion or distraction. Psychosis and hypnosis, because the hypnosis is leading to what you're seeing right now, which is mass psychosis, which is a severe mental condition in which thought and emotions are so affected that contact is lost with external reality. So the hypnotism they're putting them through by showing you this stuff with Trump, by showing you this stuff that they always gaslight you with in the news, it's hypnotism, which can put you into a psychosis. Now, let me show you how this works. The thing that came out of this that most everybody saw is the photograph of Trump holding his fist in the air. You may remember this clip that I played in one of my earlier videos where Donald Trump, after supposedly being shot, is more focused on telling the Secret Service who are grouped around him to wait, so he can get these photographs taken of him, because they know how important these photographs are to the mind control that they're putting people under. Look. And what's really important to note, not only is Donald Trump telling everybody to wait, a lot of the media that's out there now has scrubbed the audio of Donald Trump telling everybody to wait. Luckily, I got that in real time and downloaded it so I have it on my computer and I can use that and show it to you. But other media outlets who are showing this clip over and over and over again have actually cut the wait out. They don't want people to think all of a sudden that this could be something. Why is this something that Donald Trump is thinking about after being shot? He's not thinking about getting to safety, getting off stage, getting to his children, his wife. He's thinking about a photograph, right? Because the photograph is what puts you in the state of psychosis. So that brings me to this. If you haven't seen this, this is very important that you pay attention to it. There's a photographer who is standing right behind Donald Trump while this occurs. The Secret Service comes up to this photographer and tells him to go, to get into position to take these photographs. You can see the screenshot on your screen, and I'll show you the video in real time. This man is standing there with the camera. The Secret Service knows that this is about to go down. Why else would the Secret Service go up to this guy and tell him to run to the side of the stage to take some of these infamous photos? And you'll see that this man not only goes to the side of the stage, he goes to the front of the stage, and then he's literally right behind Donald Trump as he's escorted into his vehicle. So watch the Secret Service and keep in mind the other stuff that I've shown you and you've all seen, where there's people telling the Secret Service that they see somebody on a rooftop, and the Secret Service ignored people telling them that there was a man on a rooftop. This is what the Secret Service was busy doing because the Secret Service knew this was coming. And for the people out there that don't understand how false flags work, they hear this stuff and they hear us talking about it being scripted, and then they say, ask the victim, ask the family members. A false flag is an operation, is an act committed with the intent of disguising the actual source of responsibility. The source of responsibility is your own government, the left and the right working together. It doesn't mean that there weren't shots actually fired and there weren't actually victims. Sometimes they actually fake that in events like the Hook at Sandy. In cases like this, they let the sniper on the roof actually hit some of the civilians deliberately in the crowd, knowing that Donald Trump could easily just smash a packet of blood on his ear, as it appears that he did, to give the illusion that it was an attempt on his life. It doesn't mean that there's not casualties. The perfect example is the 11th day of September that we all know about. That is a false flag. Real things actually occurred. People actually were killed. But it doesn't mean that the narrative or the story that they give you is real. It was a carried out event. This is a carried out actual event that occurred by your government to give the illusion that conservatives and Donald Trump are now under attack from Democrats. And psychologically, we all see where this is going and how much of an effect it's having on people. But look at the photographer here. Watch him be told by Secret Service that this is about to go down so they could position him to take these now iconic, quote unquote, photos.
Happened to our country, probably 20 million people. And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that's sad, take a look at what happened to our country, probably 20 million people. And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that's sad, take a look at what happened.
Get ready. You ready?
He is pumping his fist, but clearly Secret Service wants to get him out of this situation. He is attempting to stand and walk on his own. He has got his hand pumping in the air. His fist is pumping in the air, but quickly they are removing him from the stage. This is happening very quickly. We are trying to ascertain what happened, but
so if you followed him around, you saw that he got the cue from the Secret Service. Why else would the Secret Service tell this guy to move positions to go and take photographs? Why would the Secret Service care at all about a man standing there with a camera to take photographs? Is that their main concern, is photographs? Of course not. They don't expect you to notice these things because they expect you to watch television, as most people do, in an alpha or delta state, where you're being put under hypnosis. This is the problem that the government is having, is that because of the tool that they're using for mind control, which is really the internet in a sense, right? The internet is needed for the New World Order. But the thing they're having trouble combating is people like me and you who are going back, watching footage, rewinding footage. We don't need a VHS. We don't need, we are able to do this very quickly. We're able to see things that people are filming on their phones, which backfires for them. So that's part of the reason that they need all of these security measures in place for being able to combat what they call disinformation, is that people are able to actually break down, just like if you were watching a crime show and you were trying to solve the crime, there's all these podcasts about true crimes and stuff, and shows about trying to solve cold cases, and everybody's okay with the people trying to solve those cases. They're saying, well, what evidence do you have? What do you see that I don't see? Let's try to crack this case. But when it comes to the stuff in the news like this, people seem offended by people who are pointing out anomalies or bizarre things that are happening around the event that they're telling us. We're taking their word verbatim as if these events are real. And that is where the problem comes from, is us looking at the news and thinking it's real. The media is the enemy of the people, again, is the common theme that most have. But they can't seem to get past the fact that the news itself is manufactured. It's scripted. It's acted out in real time, like a reality show. And these things that you just saw were acted out. Wag the Dog is a perfect example. And they use the movie Wag the Dog, they stage war. And again, this is what they do in real life. They fictionalize this in movies, so you think that the notion of this is not possible, and you dismiss it, just like that movie, right? But this is another form of hypnosis, showing you what they really do in films that you go to see in the movies thinking that they're fiction. They're showing you the truth. You turn the TV on and you take what you see on the news verbatim as real, actual things that are happening. Think about the psychosis you could be put under if you think everything you see on that screen is real because they're telling you that it's real. A deep psychosis is what you're seeing right now around the world, right? Especially in America, this psychosis of this left-right paradigm. This psychosis where they come out and they tell you, hey, you know what? We need to take a step back. We need to, people need to stop. This act on Trump was very horrible. People are getting too into this stuff. They're getting too crazy about what's going on. Well, who's making people crazy? Who's putting people in this state of psychosis where you actually see after the staged event occurs how people respond, where 50% of the population is unhinged and angry and upset, and the other half is upset because the act that was carried out on Trump didn't go to fruition, that they were wishing that it actually ended up killing him. That's a psychosis, right? But they want you to obviously think that you're the problem, you're getting too extreme in this stuff, when they're using the media to gaslight our civilians, all of us, into believing something that's not even real. So here's a clip from Wag the Dog I just want to show you that I've used before in regards to war, because we talk about this stuff with war all the time, right? Everybody gets upset and they go, what, you're saying that nothing's going on over in these places where war is going on? No, something's going on. But it's not what you see or perceive war as, where you think that there's two militaries lined up against each other. What's happening is civilians are under attack from the governments who are working together to go after the civilians. This is a perfect example of how they really stage war. And the notion of this in people's minds is out of comprehension because they can't believe that these people are so wicked. But I tell you, all the things that you've been taught, as fake as history is, in your mind, you can perceive people like Hitler, the Roman Empire, as wicked and evil people. So why can't you think that your own government be this wicked and use these types of methods to convince you of things that aren't really going on, to try and tell you that they are, so they could then manipulate you into doing what they want? There's a clip from Wag the Dog.
I'm in show business, yes? Why come to me?
You know why?
Why?
It's show business. That's why we're here. V for victory. 5 Marines raising the flag, Mount Suribachi. One video of one bomb, Mr. Moss. The American people bought that war. War is show business.
You want me to produce your war? Not a war, it's a pageant. We need a theme, a song, some visuals. We need...
Okay, good. Put the village behind her.
Give me some flames. Some sound of screaming.
That girl. Doesn't she look Albanian? She looks like she was born and raised in Albania. Could she be running across a bridge? I think,
A pond.
I think it's a calico kitten. You're running across with a kitten. Boy, punch in a calico kitten. I have 19 screens here. I can't see one calico kitten.
We have a small calico kitten, sir. Calico.
What?
The president wants a white one.
He wants a white one.
How soon do you think we'll be able to get this cut?
Oh, we're going to be done in about 4 or 5 hours.
And this just in, a Newsbreak special report that the young Albanian national fleeing in this video is attempting to escape terrorist reprisals in her village. America has seldom witnessed a more poignant picture of the human race than that which armed conflict.
Fantastic.
So again, it's so important to understand the psychological aspect of all of it. And I know a lot of you are dealing with people who are coming after you because they're in the hypnosis. And I get that. We all get that, right? But this isn't a time to wave a white flag and say, this is it. Because all of a sudden, all the conservatives in your life, which I'm assuming most of you have conservatives around you, I know a lot of you have Trump supporters around you, they think that they're awake. They think they get what's going on, but they're actually believing the ultimate lie, which is that anything on the news is actually real. They can't get to the point in their minds where they could think that they could set these events up. But that's all that the CIA does, is stage events. They stage them. Does that mean that there aren't actual victims caught in the line of fire, as they say? Of course not. There's going to be victims caught in the line of fire when they do something in front of a group of people. Otherwise, every person would come out and say that it's not real. That's part of the problem that people have of getting out of the psychosis, especially knowing that there was a victim, or we were told there was a victim, and then people saying that there was a victim, right, who were there, and then people knowing somebody, and then they tell 2 friends, and so on and so on and so on, and they don't realize there's going to be victims in false flags, right? But we need to all come back out and think about the mindset of the media, the enemy of the people, telling lies. But then what? What? You believe that they show up there and they just turn a camera on and that's it, and then whatever happens there is real, but then it's just the opinion of the media that is the lie? It's the media itself. These are staged, planned out events to warp your perception of what's going on in the world. It is a combination of hypnosis, which develops a psychosis. It's a hypnosis psychosis, as crazy as it sounds, right? People are put and induced into a state of consciousness in which a person loses the power to think, right? That's hypnosis. They lose the power of voluntary action, and they're highly responsive to suggestion or direction. It's used in therapy, right? Highly responsive to suggestion or direction. How about the notion of them telling you that these things are actually going on? The suggestion that it's actually real. And then the psychosis is what you're seeing now. The mental condition in which people are actually living in a fictionalized reality, which is what the media is creating. It's that simple. It's that simple. Again, you look at those clips. What are people thinking when they're seeing it? They just are refusing. They're stubborn. They don't want to see what we're seeing because they're almost enjoying the psychosis that they're under. They can't seem to figure out how to get out of the psychosis. But why would the Secret Service go tell a photographer to run around and take the photographs? And what's the most important thing that's come out of this? The photographs put people into a psychosis, right? The photographs are what is a rallying cry. The photographs are what people are staring at. Everybody's posting them, right? Tucker Carlson pinning it on his social media, gaslighting people, saying this is the face of this is the face of a patriot. That's the psychosis. The pictures were the most important thing that they could have gotten. And again, the photographer didn't seem too scared that gunshots were being fired, right? What is it? The paycheck that big? It was so important to him. He didn't care about his own life that he was able, he was running around the stage while you could hear bang, bang, bang. While even the Secret Service in that video clip squatted down, did they not? The Secret Service squatted down. They squatted down after telling him to move into position while he was running around the stage without a care in the world, right in the crosshairs, right? Well, he's in the crosshairs because he knew he wasn't going to get hit, because he was an intel agent as well. He wasn't just some photographer that they hired off of Craigslist. He was an intel agent. He's part of the CIA. That was his job on that day, knowing that these trained professionals were not going to accidentally hit him, that these trained professionals knew that he was a part of of the team, and that he needed to get the pictures so that the pictures could continue to ignite the psychosis. That's how all this stuff works. It's completely staged and planned out. You have to come out of this psychosis. This is something that people are prideful about. They are so caught up in this. They feel like they're a part of a team. It's like telling somebody who's like a Yankee fan or a Red Sox fan or any sport All of a sudden that they can't root for that team anymore because they feel invested in the team. They're obsessed with the team, Team Trump, MAGA, right? The Democrats, the blue ticket. They're in the psychosis. They don't want to come out of the psychosis when the evidence shows you that you are under mind control. And they don't want to believe that mind control is even real. Unless, of course, it's something like calling the media the enemy of the state, but not even realizing what the media does. They produce manufactured, scripted television that they tell you is reality when it's not. I thank everybody for being here. Hope you're all doing well. Share this video. Try to wake up a friend. God bless all of you and your families.